The following video is entirely based on interviews and stories reported by other media outlets, which we collect and curate in an attempt to provide one coherent and well-rounded history piece from the world of professional wrestling.
Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. At SummerSlam 2016, the first true pay-per-view of the brand split era, WWE still managed to put on a Raw vs SmackDown match for the main event, with SmackDown's Randy Orton taking on the pointy elbows of Raw's Brock Lesnar. But the finish of the match confused fans and wrestlers backstage alike, as Brock viciously continued to beat down Orton with stiff elbow strikes. Had Lesnar finally lost it? Was this all really pre-planned? I'm Ollie Davis, and was Randy Orton vs Brock Lesnar a shoot? Orton vs Lesnar was announced for SummerSlam over a month before the pay-per-view, but they were both then drafted to opposing brands 2 weeks later. Randy made his long-awaited return from injury as Chris Jericho's guest on the highlight reel at Battleground, where Orton said he'd beat Brock the following months. No enhancements needed. A jab directly aimed at Lesnar just weeks after his UFC 200 victory over Mark Hunt was overturned for failing a drug test. This was most likely a worked shoot line, a pre-planned reference to a real-life controversy. But the mixture of reality and fiction continued when some speculated Randy wasn't cooperating with Brock during their SummerSlam main event, accusing Orton of not jumping with Lesnar's German suplexes. With that in mind, the bloody finish to the match, where Randy was busted open hard way, requiring 10 stitches, and Lesnar confusingly declared the winner via technical knockout. It's easy to see why Chris Jericho thought their pro wrestling match had momentarily turned real. According to F4W Online and Pro Wrestling Sheet at the time, Jericho truly believed Brock had attacked Randy Orton during the main event. Jericho said this was bullshit when Lesnar walked through the curtain after the match, leading the two to have a backstage altercation, where Brock pushed Y2J and Jericho rushed in and tried getting face to face with the Beast. We're told Brock kissed him on the forehead at that point and then said, "Kiss me back." But Jericho didn't back down and stepped up ready to fight, with backstage officials, Vince McMahon and Triple H included, swarming in to break them apart, with McMahon shouting at Chris, "It's a work! What's wrong with you?" Jericho is no stranger to backstage scuffles, with him apparently decking none other than Bill Goldberg after a Raw show in April 2003. Orton would later speak about the match and backstage incident to Sports Illustrated. Basically what happened is Jericho saw what was going on in the ring and wanted answers as to whether my best interests were in mind as far as my health and safety. I had my family there sitting front row, and Chris knew that as well. He was just coming up to check on his boy. That's what it boiled down to, and I think that's awesome. You hear all these things about how they were going to fight, but I don't think Jericho wanted to fight Brock. I'm just going to throw that out there. It was blown way out of proportion, and Jericho just wanted to check on one of his fellow boys in the locker room. But Jericho himself told Chael Sonnen's podcast, "Brock and I did have a little bit of a brouhaha, shall we say. I just thought the finish of that match was very brutal and very violent, and I just didn't know if Randy was okay. I was checking on Randy, my friend. We've always been pretty close." And if that's not enough for you Brock vs Randy truthers, the Wrestling Observer reported the bloody finish to their SummerSlam match was also a work. Original plans had the match being a one-sided destruction for Lesnar, with Orton down on the ground bleeding. That was to come off like Lesnar went against the script and really hurt Orton, causing confusion and the end of the match due to referee stoppage. Orton did as he was supposed to, stay down and act like he was knocked out. WWE trainers and the referee looked confused because they really were. This confusion led to the referee stoppage due to blood and Orton's condition, which was really the only way for the referee to end it. So there you have it, not a shoot. But then, that's exactly what someone who just had a shoot fight would say. Click the videos on screen now to find out the biggest stories in wrestling right now, and give us a subscribe to never miss a future episode. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.